the simulator time we've done, and now kind of getting to validate them on track with the past couple tests, and then here at COTA, hopefully we can come away with a positive experience and know that the things that we've been doing all winter are kind of coming through and will point us in the right direction for the season.
Obviously, everybody's looking forward to getting a chance to get on the track at COTA tomorrow and Wednesday. Place that IndyCar's wanted to be for a long time, and now we're here.
Yeah, for me, it's really exciting. You know, I raced here once in 2013 and Pro US 2000, I guess it's called now. And it was, you know, a really fresh track. I think we were the, you know, second event there after the Grand Prix, and a really neat track. You know, obviously it's big, it's, you know, very kind of picturesque and exciting, and, you know, I think it'll be a blast in IndyCars. The first sector is really neat, a lot of fast corners, nice and flowing. I think there'll be quite a few passing zones, and I think we'll definitely put on a great show.
So open it up for questions for Spencer.
Now that you're back for another year with Ed, how much more do you expect to be able to accomplish on the track this year?
Yeah, definitely. I think our confidence is up, and we expect to, you know, be competitive. I think that's something we need to try and be, you know, more consistent throughout the different types of tracks that we go to, from road courses, street courses, the different types of ovals. You know, try to be consistently quick and competitive. You know, that's one thing that I don't think we did a great job of last year, but I think some of the things that we found over the winter will help us with that. And that's the goal. You know, try to get my first win and just finish as high up as we can every week.
Which race did you feel that you were, you know, if you take like Andretti, Penske and Ganassi as like, you know, the gold standard, which race did you feel like you were closest to kind of beating them, you know, both as a team, you know, as a driver, and also like in terms of tactics and that kind of thing? Did you ever feel kind of, damn, we're really up with them, we can kick ass today? Even if it turns to crap later on in the race.
Yeah, I think at certain times throughout the year we felt like that. You know, obviously, even sometimes throughout the weekend we felt strong and then not so strong. You know, Iowa is a good example. I think we were kind of as strong as anyone on that day, and we had a really good race. I think Portland overall was a good one for us. We had a little bit of an issue in qualifying, and then you know, easily kind of discovered it and put it right, and we're really competitive in the race, and, you know, battled with a lot of guys from those teams. We're able to, you know, be quicker, pass some, hold some off, and so I think those two are kind of the standard of where we want to be, you know, more consistently throughout 2019.
And how much relief did you kind of feel at the end of last season, just having been a part-timer for a couple of years and trying to break in and get that opportunity to actually put a full season under your belt with the ovals, the road courses, street courses, and to actually gain that experience with this new era kit coming into this year?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's always what you want to do is you want to be racing every weekend, and, you know, I was fortunate enough to do that last year, and for sure there are a lot of new experiences for me throughout the year, and now going into 2019, they're, you know, they're no longer new. I've got in my own mind things that I can go back and relate to and that I've learned from, and, you know, kind of hit the ground running at tracks that I haven't been to before last year. So, you know, I think track time is always good. So, you know, I've obviously had more of it now than I did last year at the beginning. So we've learned more about the aero kits. So I think, you know, we've got a better idea of what we need from the car and what, you know, I need to do. So it's, I guess everyone's in the same boat, but we feel confident.
At least at some of the race weekends, you'll have a veteran teammate who's ran this universal air kit to kind of lean on for data and feedback and things like that. I mean, how valuable do you think that's going to be?
Yeah, well, I think both my teammates have a lot of experience and are really good at, you know, really good at different tracks and different situations. So I think we have a really strong lineup, and, you know, having Ed Carpenter is obviously a great asset. You know, no matter the oval, he's got quite a bit of experience at all of them, and kind of knows what the car needs to be quick, so it's always nice having Ed as a reference if I'm, struggling or if I'm doing well, to try and, get a baseline of what we can still do better. And Ed Jones, obviously, we just started kind of working together a month or so ago, but he's been with some really good teams, and, he's had some success in IndyCar, and obviously I know him back from Indy Lights, so I think that we'll make a good pairing on the road courses.
How do you see do you see a different Ed in May? Does Ed the driver show up more than Ed the owner for you? He talked about how the ownership stuff is off-season for him, but during the year, he thinks things as a driver.
Yeah, I think, for sure, anytime he's racing, he's, full driver mode. I don't know if there's a different Ed that I see in May that we don't see in, Texas or wherever else we're at. He's very committed to his craft on the races that he's in the car, and, works very hard at trying to improve the car, improve everything. So, for sure it's different when he's not in the car. He's a bit more relaxed, I'd say, and a bit more, joking around and stuff than when he's driving. But, yeah, I think I have good experiences with him as the team owner and as my teammate.
How important is it to find a team owner that will give you the time to develop as a young driver? Because, we've seen some young guys come into the series, they got 1 year and that was it. We didn't see them too much after that. You've got guys you've raced against, like, that are trying to get into the sport, that are unable to find a hook. How valuable is that? Because I know that you and Joseph Newgarden were both able to find a team owner that stuck with you.
Yeah, it's been great to be with Ed. He's definitely, I think, seen potential in me throughout the years, and he's kind of stuck with it. And it's nice to have that kind of reassurance and that belief in the team owners and the boss, that they think you're the guy that can do the job. So it's been great. I definitely think it was probably the best move I made, joining Ed Carpenter Racing, and hopefully we can really have some success this year.
Did your qualifying performance last year at Indy, was that a mental breakthrough for you, that like, hey, I belong, I'm up here with Penske's and the other top teams, and did it make the goal of winning the race that much more tangible, that much closer for you?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely when you have a car that competitive and you're able to kind of put it up on the pointy end of the grid, it definitely, winning the race becomes a little bit more realistic, I'd say, and definitely makes you think about that, you wake up that morning, today could be the day that you win the race. So it's definitely a lot more fun when you're qualifying up there than, the previous 2 times I did the race, where I was struggling quite a bit with different things. And it's kind of a different experience when you have a team in a car that is capable of being at the front, and, as optimistic as we are as drivers, you think that anything can happen.
Last you were here with us, it's been quite a while to run on Coda. You're back. Some of the drivers think I'll have it down in a few laps, some it'll take longer. What's your recollection on what you faced your first time here?
Yeah, I remember it well. I remember really enjoying the track. I think it was quite different when I was there. Obviously the layout wasn't, but from what I've heard, it's a little bumpier than when I raced here, so that'll be something to kind of get used to and see where the bumps are and how they affect the car. And it's a totally different beast that I'm driving around here now. It's way faster, way the brakes, it's heavier, it's just totally different. So it'll take a few laps, I'm sure, to kind of figure it all out again. But I think at this level, the level of drivers, there's almost not much of an advantage, I don't think, of knowing a track, because everyone does pick it up quick, and no matter what, someone's gonna be a little quicker here, a little quicker there, and you just try and have to maximize it.
Your dad was a publisher of auto racing periodicals, I think. Wasn't he part of Auto Course for a while?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was like a salesman.
Okay, but was it his interest in racing that really created your interest in racing?
Yeah, for sure. My dad, he used to race Formula Fords back in the UK. It raced against Connor's dad, Derek, raced against Nigel Mansell, and so he's got lots of cool stories from back then, and you know, ever since I can remember, he's been, you know, it's his passion. It's he obviously was in the industry a little bit, and you know, I got into it through him, and yeah, since then I think he's enjoyed it almost as much as I have. You know, that we've kind of been on this journey and made it to IndyCar.
Anything else for Spencer?